what I would say is one fundamental pillar of Pratexo is that of scalability. And that dates back to early 2000, maybe 2001, where I happened to work on with two companies at the same time. One was a big insurance company, the other one was a gaming company. And from all the measures that I could do in terms of compute power, complexity, and so on, the insurance company had almost 100 times more compute power than the gaming company. Yet the gaming company did 100 times more than the insurance company. So that's a 4 order of magnitude difference, which I found to be very strange. So I decided to dig into this very thoroughly, and I actually spent probably 10 years working on what is that. And it turned out that it was related to many of the things that I had learned back in Sweden when I worked there with the guys in Lund, that they were very focused on parallelism and the ability, or the concept around active models and so on. So I was able to hire some of the best people in that industry and bring them together. And we spent some years working on that. And we created an open source tool called Yactor, which we used at a couple of different places like Smart City of Denver and a set of other places. And we showed that we could scale linearly into the millions and billions of transactions per second. And when we took that into companies to say, here is what you should do, this will scale linearly, and we can build it as fast as anything, but they were afraid of it. And we found out that probably the reason why is because they have groups that can maintain certain software solution. Let's say, for instance, you're an Oracle shop, you know how to maintain Oracle and make sure that that is always up. But if I tell you that, oh, no, we shouldn't be using Oracle, we should be using, say, Apache Cassandra. Well, okay, you don't have the people to maintain that. You don't know how to monitor it and so on. So we realized there was a DevOps problem. So we actually put Yactor aside. We suspended the project. It was still in open source. We suspended it. And we said, we need to work on the DevOps problem. Probably just months after that or so, I was given another task for another company where they needed a compute unit or control unit to be placed. It was actually a power company where they wanted a control unit. And I was thinking, okay, what if I use the same idea there? Instead of just taking the sensor data from power station or transformer stations and sending them up to the cloud, what if I put something a little bit more potent down there? But then could I use all of the knowledge that I had of cloud technology, of Kubernetes, Docker? Could I use the same technology that we've used in the cloud and run those over those units? And clearly I could. Why not use these edge computes as Kubernetes nodes? And that's kind of where the where the Pratexo idea started. We realized that we can take the compute problem that we're currently solving in the cloud and offload some of that load to the edge and have things executed on the edge, and sometimes completely on the edge. And it gave more advantages than we maybe had originally foreseen. For instance, these units could often go offline, but they could work autonomously now because they had the algorithms that were required to control whatever they were controlling. So I'll give you an example of that. In shipping, we're trying to put, or we're working on building clusters into the ship itself, a set of compute nodes that sits on the ship. Well, when the ship is at sea, they have very poor communication or very expensive satellite communication. You don't want to send all the sensor data to the cloud, but we have already downloaded the algorithms that we need to run. So they're running on the ship. So we have basically a little data center on the boat. And it has another set of advantages. So as you get this, you realize, oh, there is this other thing that we could do also, because now the ship could be almost like an app store. Right? Because there is not, we can run any software that can run on Kubernetes can now run on the ship. So instead of building special purpose units, we could take software that we have written and that normally we run in the cloud and push them down to the boat.